Good evening, everyone. So today, lesson number 15. Before we start our lessons, as usual, let's pay homage to the Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. We are talking about higher teachings. So before we talk about Rupa and Arupa jhanas, so let's talk about Samatha and Vipassana. We have two different type of meditation. I explained last Saturday a little bit. So the first one is called Samatha. So Samatha is described as the internal serenity of the mind. Internal serenity of the mind. So that me, Samatha here me. So when you are practicing Samatha, so you will have a stillness of the mind in your mind. That is called Samatha. So when you are contemplating the quality of the Buddha, then your mind is peaceful at that moment. So you have internal serenity of the mind. So that is called Samatha. When you are practicing breathing meditation, if you are just focusing on your breathing, so by that time you will have a peace of mind, stillness of the mind. So that is called Samatha. Vipassana is described as a higher wisdom or insight into phenomena. Higher wisdom or insight into phenomena. So yeah, insight into phenomena. Phenomena here mean simply mean nama rupa, mind and matter. So if you have an insight, actually based on Samatha, you will have an insight into phenomena. So if you have a concentration, stillness of the mind, then if you use your wisdom, so you will know the nature of phenomena. So that is called Vipassana. So Vipassana is wisdom, Samatha is concentration, samadhi. So what is Samatha? So actually I will use commentary explanation, which is in accordance with the teachings of the Buddha. Kamit chanda tayo vichanika dhammi samadhi samatha. It means cause to still opposite phenomena such as sensual desire, ill will, etc. So by practicing Samatha, so you'll be able to still your mind, or you are able to still opposite phenomena in your mind. So in other words, that is called internal serenity of the mind. That is called Samatha. Samatha simply means stillness, tranquility, calm, serenity, whatever the language you use. So if you practice Samatha, so your mind is calm and tranquil. The reason is you trying to burn off all the opposite mental state, such as sensual desire, ill will, sloth and torpor, etc. So in later part, actually here, jhana is a part of samatha. Jhana is a part of samatha. So if we learn jhana, you will understand what is samatha clearly. So samatha is stillness of the mind. If you concentrate on one meditation object, then your mind will be peaceful and calm. So the reason is, in your mind, you drive away all the opposite phenomena, or opposite mental state, such as sensual desire, ill will, etc. That is called samatha. So if we write what is samatha according to the suttas, so I think you will see like this. So to obtain internal serenity of the mind, to obtain samatha, stillness of the mind, we have to make sure that our mind is properly standing and sitting on the meditation object. Actually, I use what the mention in the sutta, according to the suttas. If you want to attain samatha, so you have to make sure that your mind is properly standing and sitting on the meditation object. Suppose if you are practicing breathing meditation, breathing is your meditation object. You have to make sure that your mind is sitting or standing on the meditation object. You have to bring and place your mind to the meditation object with the one-pointedness of the mind. If your mind go to other places, trying to bring it back to the meditation object. So if your mind is standing and sitting on the meditation object, then you will have serenity of the mind. You will have samatha in your mind. So that is a definition of samatha according to the sutta. Actually, the sutta give three usage regarding with samatha. You have to make sure that, can you hear my voice? Okay. You have to make sure that your mind is properly standing and sitting on the meditation object. If you're practicing breathing meditation, breathing is your meditation object. If you are radiating loving kindness to all sentient beings, so the sentient beings are the object of your mind. When you are contemplating, when you're recollecting the quality of the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, the quality of Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha are the meditation object. Make sure that your mind is standing and sitting on the meditation object. If your mind went to other place, if your mind went to other place, then trying to bring your mind and place your mind back to the meditation object. So by that way, you will have serenity of the mind, internal serenity of the mind. That is called samatha. That is called samatha. And vipassana here, so now I use commentary explanation, and this is in accordance with the suttas, Pali Canon. Nechati vasena vividena akarena pasatiti vipassana. Seeing things in various aspects, such as impermanent, suffering, non-self, etc. Mainly three things. So you have to try to see every phenomena, everything in various aspects, especially three aspects. Nature, impermanence, so they are impermanence. Suffering, dukkha, they are suffering. They have the nature of suffering. Non-self, they have the nature of non-self. So if you know, with the help of concentration, or with the help of internal serenity of the mind, so your mind is very clear. So then if you analyze, if you use your wisdom or insight knowledge into the nature of mental and physical phenomena, then you will see they are arising and passing away. They are impermanent. Because of that, they are suffering. Because of that, they are non-self. So if you see three characteristics of the world, so that means the nature of impermanence, suffering, and non-self, nature of mental and physical phenomena, nama rupa, then that is called vipassana. Vipassana here means higher wisdom or insight into phenomena. So the main text of vipassana is to see the real natures. Here, the real nature, me, nature, dukkha, anatta. The real nature of conditioned phenomena, sankhara, conditioned phenomena. Here, to make it very simple, conditioned phenomena here means just nama rupa, mind and matter, and mental and physical phenomena. In other words, we can use five aggregate. So the main task of vipassana is to see the real nature of nama rupa, or the real nature of five aggregate. So the main purpose of vipassana is to eradicate the cause of suffering. The main purpose of vipassana is to eradicate the cause of suffering. So the cause of suffering is three types of craving. So thereby one gains liberation from all types of suffering. So if you can able to practice, if you are able to practice insight meditation, then you'll be able to remove all your suffering. So that is called vipassana. Vipassana simply means insight or wisdom into phenomena. So with the help of concentration, with the help of samatha, so you'll be able to, you try to analyze, or you try to observe the nature of nama rupa, of five aggregate. So they are impermanent. You know that they are impermanent. So for that reason, they are suffering, and they are non-self. So if you know, if you see, if you can see the nature of dukkha, anatta nature of nama rupa, of five aggregate, here we use conditioned phenomena. That's called vipassana. So samatha is samadhi or concentration. Vipassana is insight or wisdom. So here, maybe I want to point out a little bit the difference between samatha and vipassana. So concentration is used as a citta vimodhi, the liberation of the mind. Suppose if you are chanting the quality of the triple genes, so if you are radiating loving kindness to all sentient beings, if you are meditating, breathing meditation, then you will have internal serenity of the mind. You will be samatha. So at that particular moment, your mind is liberated from problem. Your mind is peaceful. At that moment, your mind is peaceful. So the moment you do not practice samatha, then you come back to original life, then you will face different type of problem again. But here, Vipassana is used as a Panya Vimodi, liberation by wisdom, liberation by wisdom. So if you see the real nature of Nama Rupa, that is impermanent, suffering, and non-self nature of Nama Rupa, then the moment you practice meditation, your mind is liberated from all type of suffering. Then when you come out from meditation, even you are staying in normal life, if you know the real nature of Nama Rupa, then your mind is not affected with the problem. Your mind is liberated with the problem, with the suffering, liberated from suffering. Your mind is not attachment, you're not clinging to Nama Rupa or five aggregate. For that reason, things will happen in your life. Your beloved one will pass away. You will lose something. Even you encounter with those problems in your life, your mind is liberated from suffering because you know that you have a vipassana. You know that Nama Rupa, nature, dukkha, anatta. So with that wisdom, your mind is liberated from suffering. So actually, for that reason, vipassana insight is very important to elevate or to eradicate or to remove all our suffering in our mind. Even in your daily life, if you understand nature, dukkha, anatta in your mind, then there will be no suffering. Even you lost your property, even you lost your beloved one, you know that nature, dukkha, anatta. Because of that, your mind is not affected. Your mind is liberated from suffering. Especially your mind is liberated from clinging. Your mind is liberated from clinging, attachment. Because of that, no suffering in your mind. You may have a physical suffering, but no mental suffering at all because of vipassana. So for that reason, so vipassana is liberation of the mind, liberation of the mind by wisdom. Liberation by wisdom. The other one, samatha, liberation of the mind. We can call it temporary liberation. Temporary liberation. Okay. Any question up to now? Those who do not hear, I think that there is a problem in your sound system. Actually, I use new microphone system. So this is working. There will be no problem at all. Okay, any question? If no question, okay. See how.
Good evening, Bhante.
Okay, good evening.
Yeah, it's regarding the Vipassana meditation. For samatha meditation, there's a meditation object that we can use it to sort of guide us with our meditation. So for Vipassana, how if one want to practice Vipassana, how does one go about doing it? Because is it something like the four foundation of the mindfulness that is it along that line for Vipassana? Is it to contemplate on the four foundation?
Actually, Satipatthana is the most famous suttas regarding with samatha and vipassana. So Satipatthana Sutta mentions samatha and also
Yes.
Vipassana.
Uh-huh.
So the first one is the breathing. Actually, Satipatthana Sutta mention breathing meditation. If you are focusing on breathing, when breathing in, you know that you are breathing in. When breathing out, you know that breathing out. So that is samatha. That is samatha. You use meditation object, one meditation object. You just focus on that. Then you will have your mind will be concentrated. You will have a concentration of the mind. So based on that concentrations, by that time, using that concentrations, then you trying to use your wisdom. How, while you are practicing meditation, how mental and physical phenomena arises. If they arise, you just know that they are arising. If they cease, you just know that they are ceasing. So arising and passing away, arising and passing away. So that is wisdom. But samatha do not use such insight wisdom. Samatha will focus on breathing only, breathing only. So that is by focusing on breathing, you will have peace of mind, stillness of the mind. So when your mind is tranquil, then you use your insight wisdom. So when nama rupa, mind and material phenomena arises, just know that they are arising. When they pass away, just know that they are passing away. If you use insight wisdom, so that is no longer samatha. It is called vipassana. Vipassana. So for that reason, Satipatthana Sutta mentioned both samatha and vipassana. So based on vipassana, we practice. Based on samatha, based on samatha, we practice insight meditation.
Okay.
So insight meditation use wisdom.
Okay.
So here our meditation object is conditioned phenomena. Here,
okay.
Sankara. Conditioned phenomena here mean actually nama rupa, mental and physical phenomena are conditioned. They arises because of conditions. And also five aggregate. This is another method, another classification. Five aggregate also subject to conditions. Because of condition, those five aggregates arises. So they are called conditioned phenomena here. Conditioned phenomena. So by the object of insight meditation is conditioned phenomena. So we use our wisdom, then we're trying to see the nature of those conditioned phenomena. The nature here means nature. They are impermanent, always arising and passing away, arising and passing away. Because of that, they have the nature of suffering. Because of that, nature. Okay.
So can I say that the Samantha, because now is this popular method of MBSR. So can I just say that MBSR is more of a Samantha sort of meditation form? The widely used, widely promoted way of doing mindfulness.
What is MBSR?
Mindfulness based, I think stress, something like people are promoting and teaching, saying that you can, it's good to still your mind. So this is just samatha, I would say.
Yeah. If they just trying to tranquilize or stay their mind, that is
or stress relieving. Stress
yeah.
relieving.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course,
Thanks.
if somebody have internal serenity of the mind, then there will be no stress.
Yes.
But that method, as I earlier said, that it is just a temporary one. But vipassana is if you really know Vipassana, it can be useful all the time, even you experience ups and downs of life.
Mm.
So there will be no mental suffering at all because you know that these are the nature of conditioned phenomena.
Yep.
Very useful.
Yes. Thank you, Bhante.
Okay. Okay, so somebody right, maybe I'm mindfulness-based. Mindfulness-based stress reduction program. Very beautiful program. Of course, it will help us a lot. It will help us a lot. So actually nowadays, mindfulness is very popular, not only in the East, in the West as well. So the reason is those who are practicing, so it is very fruitful in their daily life. So here, mindfulness-based stress reduction. Actually, mindfulness can be both samatha and vipassana. So of course, if you just say mindfulness, that is samatha. But if you use your insight wisdom to know the real nature of nama rupa, so that will be insight or vipassana. It's Hakim.
Good evening, Bhante.
Yeah.
I want to ask that now I already doing meditation by my own, but without teacher.
Okay.
But some friends say that without teacher is very dangerous because sometimes we may, in the meditation process, we can have some certain of phenomena, and we are not guided by the teacher. Then sometimes we are like go to the wrong way. This is the first. Yeah. And when can we, after we do the samantha, until what kind of the progress, then we can move to the vipassana?
Actually, Abhidhamma indeed, this Abhidhamma course is not intended for how to say, showing all the different method. Oh no, at the end of the ninth chapter, so we have a 40 meditation object. So actually, according to Buddhism, we have a 40 meditation method. So in the ninth chapter, so we will go in detail. But here also, I will talk about samatha and vipassana. May not be in detail. If you want to know, maybe in the next year I will continue my Sutta study class because I'm supposed to teach Sutta study class this year. Because of COVID-19, we stop Sutta study class for a while. Then we do Dhamma talks. So in the Sutta study class, we study different type of meditations in greater detail using the suttas. So maybe if you are interested, you can attend Sutta study class next year.
Yeah.
After Chinese New Year, we'll open the Sutta study class. Then we'll talk about different type of meditation, both samatha and vipassana in detail, using the suttas. Then I think after we finish this chapter, you will know what are the jhanas, and you will know a little bit of vipassana. And based on vipassana, you will have magga and phala. You will know a little bit. But when we go to the ninth chapter talk about kammatthana. So different type of meditation method.
Okay, thank you, Bhante.
I think if you are meditating, I think it is the best to get a qualified meditation master.
But now there's no chance to like to meet them. The teacher just, I don't know, I just only sitting and to peace my mind only. And I think like it's Samantha. But nowadays, after 4 months practice, it's quite easy to keep still the mind.
Yeah, or basic level, then you can discuss with me. Or higher level, I will not be able to discuss. Maybe I will find out a suitable meditation master for you.
Okay, thank you, Bhante.
Okay. So today also we'll be talking about jhanas. So actually, I do not have any jhanas. What I will be talking is based on the suttas and based on the books that are written about jhana. So these are very, as I earlier said, these are higher dharma, higher teachings. So in the West, they always say higher consciousness, higher consciousness. So even though I do not have any jhana, so what I will be teaching is based on the suttas. So I think I will give some suttas, then you can read by yourself. Sometime I will give you some books, then you can read those books. Okay, so of course, when you meditate, it is the best to consult with the meditation master. For basic level, it's okay, nothing way wrong. But so we have to know that samatha and vipassana, these are two. In the basic level, there will nothing will go wrong. But when you experience the nature of mental and physical phenomena with the power of a deep concentrations, I think you need to discuss with the qualified meditation masters. Okay, so this is I hope you understand what is samatha and what is vipassana. Now we're talking about 27 jhana consciousness. 27 jhana consciousness. You can look at page number 52. Page number 52. 27 jhana consciousness. 27 jhana chaitas are called mahagata. Mahagata in Pali, which means the exalted chaitas, attained by only great people. Attained by only great people. So that means if you attain these jhana, you will become great people, among the great people. So that means 27 jhana mahagata in Pali means the exalted chaitas. Exalted chaitas. So they are 50 rupa vajra chaitas, 5 material sphere consciousness, and 12 arupa vajra chaita, 12 immaterial sphere consciousness. So altogether 27. 5 material sphere consciousness, immaterial sphere consciousness. So we'll be talking about 27 jhana chaitas. So all these are jhana chaitas. So I think now we should know what is jhana. So most of you have heard of the word jhana. So the word jhana is popular right now. So normally we do not translate the word jhana into English. But of course, if we want to translate, some people will use absorption. But some scholars, they do not like the word absorption. So I think it's better to use the word jhana. Even right now, it became like an English word. So according to commentaries, the word jhana is defined into 2 ways. 2 definitions. Actually, Remember that even though there's two definitions, they're the same. They are the same. One were defined in negative way, one were defined in positive way. So these two definitions will talk about the nature or jhana. They are the same. So number one, closely contemplating an object. So jhana here means closely contemplating an object. Upanejhana in Pali. So if you are closely contemplating one meditation object, that is called samatha. That is called jhana. That is called jhana. So here, this definition can be both negative and positive connotation. But here, negative here means in one time, so after Buddha passing away, so Venerable Sariputta went to Rajagaha. So by that time, the Prime Minister of Rajagaha asked the question, Usakara asked the question. So Venerable Ananda, so you are always saying jhana, jhana, jhana. Any type of jhana is good. Is any type of jhana is good? Prime Minister of Rajagaha asked. So Venerable Ananda said that any type of jhana is not good. Some are good, some are not good. So Venerable Ananda answered, if somebody is closely contemplating sensual pleasures, if somebody is closely contemplating, always thinking about sensual pleasures, that's also called jhana. That is actually, of course, there is a negative definition, negative connotation. So if we are thinking about sensual pleasures, if we are thinking about a person with a full of attachment, if we are thinking about a sound, a pleasant sound, full of attachment, full of clinging, if we are thinking about a food that we eat yesterday, so that is called jhana. Such type of jhana is not good. Sometimes we contemplate, we are thinking about a person with a full of anger, full of revenge. I hate that person. I want to kill that person. You are thinking, you're contemplating that person with a full of resentment, full of anger. Such type of contemplation on an object is not good. So jhana here means closely contemplating an object. But here, of course, when you are contemplating breathing meditation object closely, that also called jhana. So such type of jhana is, of course, real jhana, what we understand right now. So here, what I want to say is, the first definition convey two connotations. One negative way, one positive way. Closely contemplating an object. Another definition is burning up and cremating opposite mental states, such as opposite mental state here means five hindrances. So if you can burn down, if you can cremate five hindrances, that's called jhana. In our mind, a lot of five hindrances are rising one by one. So by closely contemplating meditation object, then you cremate all these negative mental state one by one. Then after that, you will attain jhana. you will attain jhana. So second definition is the positive one. Positive one. So if you can cremate, if you can burn off all the 5 aggregate, then you will attain jhana. Jhana that we are going to study. So this is the 2 definition of jhana according to commentaries. Then I have given the pages, then you can read by yourself. So here, to know about jhana, you need to know what are the 5 hindrances. 5 hindrances. So 5 hindrances are important. They are the enemy of jhana, jhana chetas. So if you can kill all these 5 hindrances, then you attain jhana. So they are sensory desire. If you want to attain jhana, that we are going to learn higher consciousness, higher dhamma. So you have to drive a sensory desire away. So if you can cremate sensory desire in your mind, then you will attain jhana. Another one is airway. So if you, as long as you have airway in your mind, you cannot attain jhana. Sloth and torpor. If you have a sloth and torpor, then you cannot attain jhana. Restlessness and worry and doubt. So these are called 5 hindrances, nivarana. So I will explain one by one in later part. But here in second definition, so in the second definition, jhana means burning up or cremating 5 hindrances. So if you can burn down all these 5 hindrances, you will attain jhana. What are the 5 hindrances? Hindrances are so called because they hinder the way to a good rebirth, to attain jhana and nibbana. If you have, especially here, to attain jhana and nibbana. If you have 5 hindrances, you cannot attain jhana. If you have, we also have 6 hindrances. So actually, in the Suttas, in the Sutta Pitaka, only 5 hindrances are stated. In the Abhidhamma Pitaka, ignorance is added into hindrances as the 6 hindrances. So that means if you have ignorance, if you remove ignorance, you attain nibbana. So if you can cremate 5 hindrances, you will attain jhana. But you will still have ignorance at that moment. Only you remove ignorance in your mind, then you attain jhana, you attain nibbana. So for that reason, hindrances are so called because they hinder the way to a good rebirth, to attain jhana and nibbana. So to talk about 5 hindrances, so I think I will quote one sutta from Anguttara Nikaya. It's called Sankarawa Sutta. So when we study this sutta, we will know the nature of hindrances. Many sutta mention that 5 hindrances define the purity and serenity of the mind. Cetasa upakilesa, and weaken the wisdom. If you have 5 hindrances, your mind is not pure, your mind is not serene. Suppose when you're meditating, you're thinking about the food that you eat yesterday, or the people that you love, or the sound, the music, or a video, then you cannot meditate. You cannot meditate well, because hindrances will hinder, your mind. They will define your mind. Suppose with the airway is another name for anger or hatred. While you're meditating, then a person who you hate so much appear in your mind. Then you have an airway to that person. So if you are angry to that person, then you cannot meditate. Your mind is defined. Your mind is not pure. You cannot attain any jhana because of that. Sloth in torpor. So that means if you are sleepy, then you cannot attain any jhana. If your mind is restless, full of worry, you cannot attain. If you have a lot of doubt about what you are practicing, doubt about your meditation object, then you cannot attain jhana. So for that reason, they are define the purity and serenity of the mind. Not only that, they will weaken the wisdom. That is according, actually the Buddha usually use that citta so upakileso panyaya toplikarana. They hinder the mind from seeing one's own good and the good of others and the good of both. In your daily life, if you have all these five hindrances, you will not see good things about yourself, good things about others, and good things about both. So according to this Sutta, Singharava Sutta, Singharava Brahmin went to the Buddha and asked the question. So the Buddha, sometime I forgot Veda verses, even though I can memorize, even though I'm chanting many times, sometimes I forgot. I cannot recall the chanting verses. So the Singharava Brahmin asked, what is the reason why? And the Buddha talk about these suttas. Because of five hindrances. So five hindrances will hinder to remember what we have, what we learn by heart. Even even the chanting verses, So for us, Karaniya Metta Sutta is, we are always chanting Karaniya Metta Sutta. Sometimes, if we have five hindrances in our mind, we cannot chant. We forgot. That is because of five hindrances. The five hindrances are the major obstacles to the attainment of jhanas. Ignorance is the major obstacles to the arising of wisdom, to attain nibbana. So here, if you can remove five hindrances, you'll be able to attain jhana. You will attain jhana. If you can remove ignorance, then you will attain wisdom or insight wisdom. Then through insight wisdom, you will attain magga and phala, or you will attain nibbana. So there is a difference between the first five hindrances and ignorance. In jhana state, the mind is temporarily liberated from hindrances. When you attain jhana, at that moment, five hindrances are temporary. Your mind is liberated from five hindrances at that moment temporarily. So in the path and fruition state, when you attain magga and phala, at that state, So respected hindrances are uprooted once and for all. So that is different between jhana and magga. When you attain when you attain jhana, your mind will be free from hindrances temporarily. But when you attain magga and phala, the path and the fruition chaitas. So respected hindrances will be uprooted once and for all. So regarding with the 5 hindrances, the first one is sensory desire. So sensory desire means so you have desire to enjoy sensual pleasures. So here sensual pleasure here means anything that you see, any sound that you hear, smell, touch, taste. These are called sensory desire. So if you have a sensory desire, you cannot attain jhana. So this is the opposite of jhana. Sensory desire is like the water mixed with the various colors, in which one cannot see one's own face clearly. So there is a pot of water, then you mix water with the different colors, many colors. Then you start it. When you see your face into the cup, you will not be able to see your face clearly. That is the nature of sensory desire. You are meditating, breathing meditation. Then in your mind, you're thinking about your beloved one, thinking about listening music, watching movie, thinking about food, taste, smell, bodily touch. These are sensory desire. So if you have such sensory desire in your mind, then your mind is not clear. You will not be able to see meditation object. So here, face represent meditation object. If your mind is full of sensory desire, so sensory desire are just like the colors, different colors. You put into the water in a different color, you cannot see your face clearly. Just like that. So when you have a sensory desire, when you are meditating, then you will not be able to meditate well. Your mind cannot be concentrated on the meditation object. Another one is ill. Ill is another one is called anger or hatred. So ill is like the water heated over a fire, boiling, in which we cannot see our own face clearly. Then you put hot water and you put it on the fire, you boil it. So the water is boiling, right? Boiling. Then you see your face into the cup. You will not be able to see your face clearly. Just like that, while you are meditating, while you are focusing on your meditation object, if you have anger, irritation, ill will in your mind about a person, about your things, about your job, about the weather, and also the pain in your body, the pain is coming in your body, then if you have ill will in your mind, irritation in your mind, so you will not be able to meditate well. So water, just like a boiling water, the mind is boiling because of ill will. Another one is sloth and torpor. Sloth and torpor means laziness. So when you have sloth and torpor, so you have a laziness, you cannot despair, you will not have energy in your mind. Your mind is powerless. If you are sleepy, then you cannot focus on your meditation object. So sloth and torpor are also hindrances to go to jhana, to attain jhana. Sloth and torpor are compared with the water, with the moss, water plants. So in which one cannot see one's own face clearly. So if the water is mixed with the mess, with the moss and water plants, you will not be able to see your face clearly. So just like that, sloth and torpor also hindrances to contemplate on your meditation. So there's no way to attain jhana. So here, the Buddha used sloth and torpor together. So the reason is, so they are the opposite of energy, the opposite of effect. Another one is restlessness and worry, uddhacca, kokocha. So if you are restless, thinking a lot of things, your mind is not focused on meditation object. You have a lot of worry, worry about family, worry about job, worry about many things. So restlessness and worry are like the water stirred by the wind. So the water is shaking because of the wind. So when you see your face in such water, you will not be able to see your face clearly. So just like that, if your mind is restless, if you are full of worry, you will not be able to contemplate on the meditation object. So this is a restlessness and worry are the hindrances of your meditation, of your jhana. So the Buddha used together restlessness and worry because they are opposite of concentration. Another one is doubt. You doubt about triple genes. So the Buddha talk breathing meditation method. You doubt about the Buddha. You doubt about meditation method. Meditation method means this is Dhamma. And you doubt about Sangha. Sangha means you doubt that based on this meditation, is there any Sangha or is there anyone who achieve higher teaching, higher consciousness? If you have such doubt, so you cannot attain jhana. You cannot be able to contemplate on meditation object. So doubt is like the muddy water in which one cannot see one's own face clearly. So the water is full of mud, muddy. When you see in the muddy water, you cannot see your face. So just like that, if you have a lot of doubt about the Buddha who gave meditation method, doubt about the meditation method that you are using right at that moment. If you doubt about the Sangha or the individuals who achieve higher consciousness, higher Dhamma based on this method. So if you have a doubt about that, then you will not contemplate your meditation object. You cannot attain jhana. So for that reason, these 5 hindrances are the opposite mental state that will hinder, on the way to jhana, So for that reason, the second definition of jhana, if you can cremate all these 5 hindrances, you attain jhana. If you cannot remove all these 5 hindrances, you cannot attain any jhana. Any question up to now? Any question? Okay, if no question, let's continue. Mr. Akus.
Namaste, Bhante.
Okay.
I would like to ask, as far as we are taught so far, that samatha cannot uproot the defilement, Bhante. But why the word jhana is using the word burn or cremate the defilement, Bhante?
No, not defilement. It's called, we use nivarana or
I mean, the five hindrances. The five hindrances.
five hindrances.
Why use the word burn or cremate the five hindrances, while the function of samatha is only to subdue the defilements or the five hindrances, not to erase or eradicate the hindrances?
So we have to use the usage of the language. Here we are not using defilements. We use hindrances.
Yeah.
So only when we attain magga and phala, we use the word defilements. So of course, the moment one attain jhana, so he suppress or we use the word cremation or banap, because we commentary use the word jhana. Jhana is jayati, means burn down or cremate. So actually, it's not a total cremation once and for all. It is just for, as you said, that is a temporary separation. So in later part, when we talk about jhana, I will talk about the three type of how to say, suppressing, or three type of killing. So regarding with the jhana, so as I earlier said, that this is a ceto liberation of the mind. So when you attain jhana, you can use suppress, or according to you can use banap or cremate five hindrances at that particular moment, But of course, if you are no longer practice meditation, then those five hindrances will come. Only at that moment, the moment you are meditating, the moment you are doing jhana.
And the second, Bhante, when we do samatha, like for example, anapanasati, is the wisdom always present, Bhante?
Sorry?
Wisdom, the Chaitasika wisdom also present during we are doing the mindfulness on the breathing, Bhante. Is it right or not?
You're right.
Yeah. And
Naturally,
what is the function of wisdom here, Bhante, in samatha?
Wisdom, of course, this is knowing the object itself can be called wisdom. But here, when you know the nature of nama rupa, nature dukkha anatta, that is called higher wisdom. Higher wisdom or insight. So we can call it insight wisdom. But of course, the moment you practice jhana, the moment you attain jhana, the wisdom, mental factor, is always present. Without wisdom, you cannot attain jhana. We can call it, this is a normal wisdom, but when you practice vipassana, that is called higher wisdom or insight wisdom.
Okay.
So we have to differentiate in such a way.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Bhante.
Okay, you're welcome. Teacher Lily.
Yes, good evening, Bhante. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
There's a question here. What are the methods to get rid of the five hindrances?
Sorry?
What are the methods to get rid of the five hindrances?
Method, right?
What method to get rid of the five hindrances?
So traditionally, we have a 40 meditation method. So we can, based on those meditation method, we can remove these five hindrances. And also there, as long as your mind is concentrated on the meditation object, you can remove it. Okay.
Thank you, Bhante.
Okay, you can. Okay, regarding with hindrances and jhana, or here, jhana temporarily suppress 5 hindrances. So when the mind is free from these hindrances, it became like a polished mirror. Polished mirror. So you can see in the polished mirror, and if you see the mirror, then you will see your face very clearly. So if you have, if you remove 5 hindrances, if there's no hindrances in your mind, that means you attain jhana. At that moment, your mind is like a polished mirror. So one can see the real nature of mind and matter at that moment. At that moment. So seeing the real nature of mind and matter is called vipassana. Vipassana. So we can, I think, when you read some sutta from Majjhima Nikaya, actually we have a few suttas, then I give one sutta, Mahasajjaka Sutta. So the Buddha talk about how he attained enlightenment, how he became the Buddha. So the Buddha said that by developing the 4 jhanas, the 4th jhana he gained. So he gained perfect one-pointedness of the mind. So by developing the 4th jhana, he gained perfect one-pointedness of the mind. So here, according to Abhidhamma, we have a 5 jhana. 5 jhana. According to the suttas, Sutta Pitaka always mentioned 4 jhana. So the 4 jhana model or method, Abhidhamma mentioned, actually, Abhidhamma mentioned, Abhidhamma Pitaka mentioned both 4th jhana method and the 5th jhana method. So the later part I will explain that one. So here we are talking about jhana, sutta method. It is sutta method. By developing the 4 jhana, he gained perfect one-pointedness of the mind. So that means the Buddha attained the 4 jhana. And he attained perfect one-pointedness of the mind. Your mind, his mind is very concentrated. His mind was now like a polished mirror, where everything is reflected in its true perspective. So this is a, I quoted the sutta from Majjhima Nikaya. So there are a few sutta that talk about this, how the Buddha attained enlightenment. So here, the Buddha attained the 4th jhana first. He said that at that moment, his mind is free from 5 hindrances. So that means he attained jhana. Because of that, because of not having any hindrance in his mind became like a polished mirror, very, very pure, clear. Then he used higher wisdom or insight to see the real nature of Nama Rupa. That he see 4 noble truths: impermanent nature, suffering nature, non-self nature, or Nama Rupa. Then based on that vipassana, he understands 4 noble truths: suffering, the original suffering, cessation of suffering, and the way that lead to cessation of suffering. So after realizing 4 noble truths, he attained enlightenment. He attained enlightenment. So here, what I want to say is, the Buddha attained the fourth jhana. So at that moment, his mind is like a polished mirror. His mind is pure. There's no any hindrances in his mind. Because of that, very pure. Then he used insight wisdom or vipassana to see its true perspective, the real nature of Namarupa. Then he realized, because of that vipassana, he understood Four Noble Truth. Okay, so now we are talking about jhana. Before jhana, what happened? Before somebody attained jhana, what happened? This is actually according to Samyaphala Sutta, Pitaka Nikaya. So when he meet somebody, not the Buddha, no? Not the Buddha. It can be the Buddha or anyone. So when he see that these 5 hindrances have been abandoned within himself, gladness arises. So because of 5 hindrances have been abandoned or removed, so he will have gladness in his mind. Gladness. When he is glad in, rapture arises. Rapture is more powerful gladness. When his mind is filled with the rapture, his body becomes tranquil. So this is the moment we attain jhana. Before we attain jhana, you will go through this process. So the Buddha is talking to the monks, and the Buddha talk about the practices that lead to enlightenment. So before enlightenment, the Buddha will go step by step, regarding with starting with the moral conduct. So before one attain jhana, we have to be very mindful about our moral conduct, sila. Then because based on that, you're trying to develop concentrations. So when you are practicing samatha, so here 5 hindrances will be abandoned or removed. If there's no 5 hindrances in your mind, you will have gladness in your mind. You will feel very happy. Then because of that, then rapture, more powerful gladness will arrive. Then when his mind is filled with the rapture, his body becomes tranquil. So here, remember that the monk is meditating. His mind is solely focused on meditation object. So by that time, 5 hindrances will be removed one by one. Because of not having 5 hindrances in the mind, he feels gladness and rapture. Because of the rapture, then his body becomes tranquil. Tranquil in the body, he experiences happiness, sukha. So he feels very happy right now. No more thinking about sensual pleasures, no illness, no sloth and torpor, no restlessness and worry, no doubt. Now he removed all the 5 hindrances. He have gladness, rapture, tranquil, then happiness. Being happy, his mind becomes concentrated. This concentration is the most powerful moment, the more powerful one before you attain jhana. We can call it this one upachara samadhi. Upachara samadhi. Assess concentration. assess concentration. So this concentration will be assessed to jhana. So this is a before jhana. So being happy, his mind became concentrated. Actually, this is based on the suttas. Based on the suttas. How about within the jhana? So actually, I quote Ajahn Brahm book, Mindfulness, Bliss and Beyond. This is a very good book to know about meditation. So within the jhana, when you attain jhana, what will happen? Within jhana, all the 5 senses are totally shut down. One cannot see, one cannot hear, one cannot smell, taste, feel, touch. Only the 6th sense, that is the mind, is in operation. This is a very important statement. Within the jhana, when you really attain jhana, you will not see anything. Your eye is not operating. Even though you ear, you will not hear any sounds. You will not, even though there is a very big smell outside, you will not smell it. No taste, no touch. Only the mind is in operation. So this is a within the jhana. So this is a Mr. Rupakatin lecture. So up to 9 o'clock today, up to 9 o'clock, I will try to finish my lessons. Then after 9 o'clock, those who doesn't want, you can leave. And we will have another 15-minute discussion as usual, right? Okay, this is a on the chart, a very beautiful one, beautifully explained by Mr. Rupakatin. So Rupakatin is a Buddhist scholar who expert in Abhidhamma. He is the president of Palita Society. Palita Society is I think, a very well-known society, which was established in late 19th century. So here, you can look at the middle one, the middle one, waking state. So when we are in the waking state, when we are in the normal state, so here you can see the green color. So this is called Avanga, life continuum. Then when we see something, then there will be mental process, active mental process. It's the red color, right? It will go up. Then after that, it will go down. So actually here, red color is, green color is the life continuum, stable state of mind. Then when we hear a sound, then there will be ear consciousness, ear door process, active mental state. Then the mind will go up. Right? Then it will go down, it will go up, go down, go up. It goes like this, right? It goes like this. So actually, going down means then your mind go to a rudimentary level. It's called life continuum. Then when your senses and outside object keep contact with, then active mental process will arise. That is called active mental process. Then it will go down again, then it will go up again. So that is a waking state. And when you go to the first one, dreamless sleep. So when you have a dream, when you are dreaming, at that moment, dreaming that means your mind is still working, active mental process. Only there's no dream in your mind, then that will be dreamless sleep. So your mind fall back to life continuum, stable state of mind. So actually it will go, if you sleep 1 hour without any dream, that will be going like that. Very stable, your mind very stable. Your body is not moving. You will not see, you will not hear. So your mind have auto contact with outside object. When somebody is talking loudly, you will not hear, because your mind is in the life continuous state, stable state. When you're sleeping 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, your body will be, very slow. You're very stable. So there's no contact with outside object. Even though the sound will resonate to your ear, you will not hear, because your mind is on a dreamless sleep or life continuum. You will see that very stable, right? Stably going like this. And you see the last one. So here from life continuum, then normal attainment process. Then after that, the moment you attain jhana, here he used samadhi, called jhana. The moment one attain jhana, as I earlier quote Ajahn Brahm's book, our mind shut down. Our five door senses totally shut down. You will not see, you will not hear, and you will not smell, you will not taste, you will not touch. That is during the jhana. So you can see the chart. During the jhana state, the mind is stable. Stable in the active mental state, active way. When you're sleeping, your mind is not active. The way Mr. Rupa Katin mentioned, very beautiful. When we are sleeping without any dream, then our mental state is very stable, stably going at the bottom. When you attain jhana, or jhana or samadhi state, then your mind is stable. Your mind is focused on meditation object, but very active. Not like a sleeping state, dreamless sleeping state, very active. So here, the last one, you can see samadhi or jhana. This is during the jhana. So your mind is active, your mind is operating. So the other 5 sense door organs really shut down. So what the Ajahn Brahm said is in accordance with the sutta. Then I will quote 2 sutta to talk about this. So in the Anupa Nirodha Sutta in Gotra Nikaya, the Buddha said that. Bhikkhus, so there are these 9 progressive cessations. What 9? Progressive cessation. Number 1, for one who has attained the first jhana, sensory perception has ceased. When one attains the first jhana, all the sensory perception, sensory perception means 5. Seeing sensory perception, you will not see it. Hearing sensory perception, you will not hear it. Smelling sensory perception, you will not smell anything. Tasting sensory perception, no taste. Touching sensory perception, no touch. You will not know the body is touching. So that is what the Buddha said in the Sutta. When for one who attained second jhana, thought and examination has ceased. So here actually we are referring to the Sutta. So that means the fourth jhana more, the fourth jhana more. For one who attains second jhana, thought and examination has ceased. There's no thought, no vitakka, no examination, no vichara. So that means the mind is more stable. Even you don't need, there's no thought at all. One who has attained the third jhana, rapture has peace. Rapture means a very like happiness and joy in your mind. So you experience the bliss of meditation, rapture or happiness. But when you attain third jhana, rapture has ceased, no rapture at all. So the mind getting stable, more stable. One who has attained the fourth jhana, in breathing and out breathing has ceased. So when somebody attains the fourth jhana, no breathing at all. So you can feel it. They are not breathing. Even though they are sitting, they are not breathing. Breathing totally stopped. So this is a, for that reason, so what Ajahn Brahm said is in accordance with the suttas. And here is another sutta, turns to jhana. Noise is a turn to the jhana, the first jhana. Thought and examination are a turn to the second jhana. Rapture is a turn to the third jhana. In and out breathing is a turn to the fourth jhana. When you attain the fourth jhana, you are not breathing at all. When you are breathing, if the breathing is, your body is producing breathing, that means you do not attain the fourth jhana. So you are concentration is so strong, so settled that breathing is no need. You don't need any breathing. And you, if you breathe, that means your concentration is disturbed. So your body is walking its own. Without breathing, you can stay meditate. You can stay meditate. So this is a, for that reason, jhanas are called attakavachara, beyond thinking, beyond knowledge, beyond knowledge. So of course, wisdom, on the medical science will say that if somebody do not breathe, then die. But here, no, if you attain the fourth jhana, you are not breathing at all. Stay alive, stay alive. So here, by quoting these suttas, we can say that during the jhana, your five physical doors totally shut down. Only the mind is walking to the meditation object. So I think early this year, somebody sent it to our group. One of the meditation master from Thailand, and he answered the question. So during the jhana, people, the meditator can hear. Meditator can hear the sound. So actually, it is not in accordance with the sutta. The Buddha said noise is a turn to the first jhana. So the moment you attain jhana, there's no, your ear is not walking. So that means if you hear a sound, that means you're not during the meditation. You do not attain any jhana. So, but of course, they will have a deeper level of concentration. If you hear, that means you are not in jhana. You are not in jhana. Okay, so we are now 9 o'clock. So the other 15 minutes will be discussion. Those who doesn't want, you can leave our lessons. And now, discussion time. Any question? Teacher Lily.
Yes, Bhante, you mentioned your slides here said noise is the turn to the first jhana. So does it mean that the meditator who don't hear any noise, he has attained the first jhana?
So there are 5 criteria to talk about the first jhana. So actually, next lesson I will explain that one.
Okay.
So it doesn't mean if somebody doesn't hear the sound that it doesn't meet the first jhana. So there are 5 criteria. Only you meet those 5 criteria, you will attain the first jhana. But here, the tone, noise is a tone to the first jhana me. So the first jhana. So during the first jhana, your mind is not so stable. So when you hear a noise, it will disturb your jhana. So for that reason, noise is turned to the first jhana. Because of that, we have a quiet meditation retreat, right? So meditators normally go to a quiet place because if they attain jhana, so no noise, no disturbances.
Thank you, Bhante.
Okay. Agus.
Bhante, could you please explain briefly about the Micha Samadhi, Bhante?
Oh, Micha Samadhi is a wrong concentration. Actually, based on 5 hindrances, we can explain. It will be easier. Sensory desire. If we are thinking about our beloved one, full of attachment, full of love, and that way our mind is concentrating on that person. So we are thinking about that person. So there's no other thinking. Your mind is concentrated to that person. So such concentration is called Micha Samadhi, wrong concentration. Sometimes we are thinking about a person who we hate so much. We hate that person. We are thinking that person, want to kill, want to take revenge. So full of ill and full of anger. Our mind is just focused on that person. Suppose daytime in your job, you experience unpleasant person, scoring you, saying you unpleasant thing. Then when you come back, you're thinking about that person. You are contemplating on that person. So your mind is not thinking any other thing. So such type of concentration called wrong concentration, right? So there are many other things as well.
So it means Micha Samadhi is never reach high states of concentration, Bhante, like excess concentration or absorption concentration, Bhante.
Sorry, can you repeat your question?
So it means Micha Samadhi can never achieve high concentration like access concentration or jhana.
Yeah,
stage.
you're right. You're right.
Because the object is 5 hindrances.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. Thank you, Bhante.
Yeah. Any question? No more question, right? You feel tired? Question? Okay, teacher Mei-Chin.
Bhante, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
Okay, I don't have to unmute myself now. The last time I made a mistake.
Hmm.
The way I understand through the meditation experiences that I've had, could this tones, for example, be interpreted this way? Noise is a tone to the first jhana. But when actually we are very concentrated and very mindful and very clear in the head and very still, actually everything is very calm and still. Noise, you can still hear the noise, but it's not the going out to the object, but actually the noise does not actually disturb you at all. So it's not a tone to me, during such sittings. So then noise is actually not a tone to me. And then thought and examination, also not a thorn to me as you go to a higher level, because they don't disturb me at all. And even rapture, you know, that you have gone through you feel the rapture as you continue sitting later on, because it takes a lot of continuity. And then even that, when you sit down, even this rapture, it's not, it dissolves, you know, it's not a taunt to you anymore. And in and out breath, the same thing, you know. But that, this kind of concentration is different from that kind of jhana, where all the five senses are actually cut off, where you don't feel, you go into that kind of jhana, absorption, where you don't feel the five senses, or you don't hear anything, you know, you don't feel anything. But this other kind of, it is two comparison, this other kind of, I won't use the word jhana, not for confusion, but concentration, samadhi,
Okay.
is there, because you still have all these jhana factors that are not, the jhana factors are all there, you know, so for the different stages. It's just that the mind is very clear and alert and it's totally mindful. It's not that the mind is also, you know, you just clear of that particular, in the other absorption kind of, you know, jhanas, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's
So
tough.
your concentration is deep. That means if you stay here in noise or in sounds, that means not in the jhana state. So of course, even before jhana, we call it kanika samadhi, temporary concentration. So is a deep concentration,
Yeah.
but it's not a jhana state.
Not a jhana, yeah. No.
Jhana state. But here, when we are talking about, English uses the word thought and examination. Actually, this is a very what we are talking, what we are referring to. Vitakka, vichara is the deeper than thought and examination. So I think next week I will explain what is thought and what is explanation. So we use, and inevitably we have to use English language, which will lead to misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Anyway, when even during the jhana state, stay with thought, but not thought about other things, thought about meditation object. So regarding with the noise, of course, in the deeper level of concentration, so the noise may not matter for you, but during the jhana, if you are in jhana, you will not hear any noise. So that is the difference. But of course, in deeper level of concentrations, even though there are many sounds outside, many noise outside, those sounds will not matter to you. Your mind is still concentrating. But if you are in jhana state, even though there are a lot of noise, you will not hear it.
Okay.
So for that reason, your mind is not disturbed. That's it. I think that's a different.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we stay with 3 minutes. Hakim.
Good evening, Bhante.
Okay, yeah.
I want to ask, during meditation, sometimes I can feel that the mind is pure, but I ever have one time is clearly the mind pure is very soft, like the state is very soft. But that I don't know, is that considered is already entered the first jhana? And during that time, I also don't have thoughts, just that have the state that is very clear, very soft, very nice, that's all. So is this called the first jhana, or I don't know whether I still hear the sound, I still feel the body, but that moment I don't remember.
I think after we talk about the first jhana, next Saturday, I think it will be clear. You can compare the jhana here and also your experience. So for the time being, now we have only 1 minute left.
Okay.
So next week, next Saturday, I will talk about the first jhana, the general nature of the first jhana. Then you can compare with your experience.
Okay, thank you, Bhante.
Okay, so I think we have only 1 minute left. I think better close our lessons. Okay. Somebody please close your microphone. After asking, you close your microphone. Yeah. Yo varatam bhavaro manu jesu sakya muni bhagavakata kecho parakato bala viriya samangi dan sukatan saranatamu peni ragawi ragama ninjama sokan dhamma masangkata mapatikulan Marura bimam pakunan suwipadan Dhamma mimam saranatamu pemi Yata cha te namaha palamahu Chatusu susi supuri sayukesu Atacha bogala dhammata sate Sangha mimam saranatamu pemi Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Good night, everyone.